you're going to find yourself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So you're off in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot have fun. Yeah, and it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
coming down.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
They're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry!
Welcome back, it's the B League, and we are round 11 live from the VIR, the Virginia International Raceway, but it's also the Virginia International North version of the track. I am Dean Biggles, and joining me this evening will be Kendon Sportek. How you doing, Mr. Kendon?
Doing well. Excited to watch some more Beer League. It's been a bit since I got involved, but excited to be back.
And, well, excited to be back as the season is starting to get very, very close in those championship standings. Lone qualifying is underway, but quickly before we get into that one, we will go over those championship standings right now to let everybody elaborate how this season has panned out at the moment. And there's a championship standings for you. They go through there, my friend.
So we have Gio Romano in first place. In second place, we have Eric Ronenberg. In third, Austin Tucker. Tyler Agostano in fourth. Chris Hannigan in fifth. Alex Cofford in sixth. Jay DeVries in seventh. Corey Barrett, in eighth. Brian LeBlanc in ninth. Tyler Carlton in 10th. Ron Wolf in 11th. Brooks Clayton in 12th. Kenneth Ray in 13th. Todd Madule 14th, Evan Campbell in 15th, Jeremy Castro 16th, Jason Lee in 17th, Adam Klein in 18th. And then we have Matthew Dubois in 19th, John Combs in 20th, Steve Bauer 21, Graham Jordan, there we go, I can read today, 22nd, Josh Freed in 23rd, Greg Beckman in 24th, Chris Doden in 25th, Joshua Kuhn in 26th, Dustin Doss Bays,
Yes,
27th. Mike Young in 28th, Jonathan Lane 29th, Alexander Bueller in 30th, Christopher Flick in 31st, Kyle Smith in 32nd, Cody Carter in 33rd, Joshua Keith 34th, James Hardwick 35th, Jason Murray in 36th, Rick Reeder in 37th, John Bradley in 38th, Blanc, I'm going to... Ruziak in 39th, Dylan Velinga in 40th, Nathan Cookingham in 41st, Dylan Fisher in 42nd, Robert Baylock in 43rd, Sean Flynn 44th, Anthony Saletta in 45th, Joseph Noah in 46th, Alex Durante in 47th, Zach Garrow in 48th.
Excellent. We'll go through those, for there's a few more, but we are on the way into the qualifying session, so we'll have to get through that as quickly as possible, as some of the drivers are actually putting some times in the board there. 5 minutes and change to go on there. Mr. Tucker goes straight to the top of the timesheets with Eric. Chris up at a P3, Josh Freed into P4. This track, my friend, what do you think about it? Difficult, isn't it? And fun at the same time?
Yeah, it's a very tricky track, but it's this north section here I find a little easier than the full length for a VIR race. I mean, the horseshoe section going into the kind of the NASCAR turn and the left hook, I believe it is, are a little trickier. But at the same time, it's not too difficult where you're kind of stumbling all over the place trying to make it work or anything like that. Like, it is quite doable in these cars. The front wheel actually feels pretty comfortable around here. But yeah, it's a very all over. You get kind of a little bit of everything. Your hard turns and some kind of quick turns and everything. It's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun with a lot of drivers on the grid that we have this evening. Probably about, give or take, about 30. A lot of drivers still haven't yet some times. Some times is the word I was looking for. A couple of new drivers on the grid and old familiar faces as Alexander Buller goes pretty quickly at the moment. Setting some purples with about John Combs at the moment. Set a time there for the Family First planning team. And real quick, I guess, while they're still planning those times down at the moment, because they've only got a couple of laps to do it in the lone qualifying, is that we can go over really quickly those championship standings as well, too, speaking of the teams.
All right. So in first place with 822 points is High Spirits. In second, we have the Diabetics. In third, we have the Pit Crew Pirates. In fourth, we have Family Planning. In fifth, Spork Sports. Say that fast. In sixth, we have the Local Yokels. And in seventh, we have Snack Attack. And then in eighth, we have Children of the Corn Liqueur.
Excellent.
Fantastic
Perfect.
names.
They are absolutely brilliant. You get used to it. It's a beer league. It's a lot of fun. And drinking is encouraged. Whether you're underage or overage, you can drink any beverages that you want. Obviously, underage, non-alcoholic. Overage, well, drink them down there. It doesn't have to be beer as well, too. Some of the drivers choose different liqueurs and whiskeys and rums or whatever floats your boats. Float your boat and everybody's boat, I guess, and floating your car around. The Shea Shack is going to be floating around at the moment, and that's kind of free. He manages to hang on to that one there, mowing the lawn out here in Virginia. Good job. You'll see a lot of that here this evening, my friend. A lot of fun. You've known about this league before, which you said you've casted it one time before.
Yeah, and I know with this track, you have high chances of going off track here. Does happen.
Yeah. Especially when most of the blokes are having fun. They're all having a bit of a yarn in the chat. Make sure you click in the description below. Also hit the likes and subscribe if you are enjoying the stream here for the Beer League. Round 11, a few more rounds to go. Some of that notes that you have too, it's interesting in this championship, isn't it? So far, what's going to be happening and panning out.
Yeah, we've got a few kind of storylines to watch going into this, guy. So this is our second official visit to the VIR. The last time they were here, they had a full course instead of just the north section. So they had the sort of pointy end that continues after the little turn right coming up right away here. They were also running the GR86s for that, so not the touring cars. Top three finishers were Chris Hannigan, Evan Campbell, and Eric Ronenberg. So our current first and third have both were first and third last time they were here. So they should know what they're doing. They've been here before. They kind of got a good feel for this. Last week we had Giovanni Romano extend his championship lead, 13 points over Eric Ronenberg. So we do have driver standings. Those were put up as well. The big difference will be the lowest scores will get dropped. So changes are going to happen kind of as the season goes on. The win for Gio, though, last year will give him a new win record for a single season with 4 wins, which is quite impressive considering how many drivers there are. Obviously, there can be a lot of turnover in that kind of leading the race and things like that. As well, Team High Spirits, they have a very large lead, and the team champions get to pick the car for next season. So can make a pretty significant alteration to the track and how it all drives and the races and things like that just by what car they end up picking. And then Tyler Augustano is coming in tonight with a streak of 3 straight P2 finishes. Apparently all from lucking out on fuel saving strategies, matching his personal record for number of podium finishes in a beer league season. His only win was in Saguna Beach Seca in season 2.
Impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressive. So they can continue that great form as our...
I know the
Go ahead.
Feeling of finishing second consistently. I've done it a few times.
Well, it's like anything, isn't it? In major sporting events, it's like who finished second is always nobody remembers who finishes in second, but we do, and the drivers will be well aware of who finishes in second themselves. Hope everything is okay out there in the chat. The chat's quite quiet at the moment. We will get those results coming up for you in a minute, but for our qualifying session, real quick. But now what we do is we split it up into our different race heats, as you may or may not be aware. So we'll have 2 of these race heats.
Mm-hmm.
And
the drivers do 3 laps.
Yeah. So we'll actually don't worry about too much about this qualifying because they will have a little sprint, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
It's more importantly as to just seeing who is on what position and where and how. So currently at the moment you can see that Chris will be alongside Mr. Ronenberg, Mr. Rick Reeder, and so forth and so forth. That little sprint out shootout that you're going to have. And I think it's time, my friend. Mr. Kendon.
Oh, it's yeah.
Go racing, and they are ready. And that's a little bit of a bogged down start, isn't it? Straight away there from Eric.
Yeah, he seemed. I'm not sure if he. I think we have a little bit of a safety car kind of roll start here. Yeah, he definitely looked like he got off very slowly for some reason there. I'm not really sure what happened. Hopefully nothing too bad.
Bit of fun.
It was definitely cleaner than some of the ones I've seen.
Hey, as long as exactly you do that whilst you're, bogged down a little bit while you're not actually on a standing start, which is perfect for the drivers.
Mm-hmm.
But in a second, that pace car is going to peel the pit road right now, and we are green, almost green. You got to look out for Chris in the McDonald's livery there. Eric on the outside of him there in the Audi, and then Jason Lee and Rick Reeder are going to be following them. Let's go green.
There we go. Now we're green as we see some lights flashing on that McDonald's car as he makes his way into the horseshoe here. So it's a very awkward corner because it's a lot sharper than you think, but the sharper part of the corner hits late. So it makes it a little interesting to get around here, and then you've kind of got this very fast sort of corner before a hard braking left, and then a very hard braking left as it's got basically about a 90-degree left-hand turn here. And then kind of a little bit of a bus stop chicane without really being a bus stop chicane into the snaky section, which is probably my favorite because it's just ride the curbs as hard as you can and hope it doesn't send your car around.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's a high speed. Just a little turn to the left, a little turn to the right. A little bit of a challenge going on at the moment. That's between Jason Lee and Tyler Augusto. They're making their way around. Apologies for some of the cameras because it's not a regular version of the track that we do usually occur to. So the camera crew aren't really set up 100% for this kind of presentation. But we'll certainly try to bring you the best that we possibly can. We'll have a little bit of time. And there is Eric being challenged there by Rick Reeder. So he's coming back at Rick Reeder. He made a little bit of an error coming out in the corner. Remember, there's only a couple laps to do anything he can. And Eric's got the job done. So back up into P2. Rick back into P3 there. Tyler up 2 positions just down there. And just before I spoke too soon on that one, he's just made an error, my friend. And now he's going to drop a couple of positions as Tyler.
Yeah, and this track's really interesting. It is, like we had kind of mentioned, it's not the easiest track to make your way around. It has its technical moments, like the horseshoe is definitely one of them. That the NASCAR bend, the left hook, that kind of section there. The roller coaster down in turn 10, which is around the bottom.
Eric making a mistake there. Rick Reeder back through.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure what's happening with our 15th place car here. That looks like Tanner Klein. He's seems to be stuck down in the hog pen. Not really. Yeah,
here he is.
Having himself for some time.
He went to grab a brewski, my friend, and oops, I forgot I had to turn the corner. That's the fun you have here at the B League. So he doesn't matter too much. It's just a sprint that'll dictate the overall grid positions for our main feature race. And there's Rick Reeder at the moment. Has to hold off Mr. Eric Ronenberg. Flavor that, he says. As you can see the livery on the side there. Flavor that, Pops. Eric
assuming that's like a freezy? That's a boozy freezy?
It looks like it. And there's going to be very, very close. You can see the brakes heating up. And what happened to Chris? Chris has gone off into downtown area here, into the grass, from the lead of this race. Because he come back on track, will he get a slowdown? He's certainly going to keep it on the track as much as he can, and he can't. Yes, maybe Chris. Maybe just enough there. Lose a couple of places. But what a save. What a save. You have to give it to Chris. I'm sure that's a code brown moment for Chris, having a lot of fun. And that'll put the challenge on. I think the checkered flag's already done anyway, isn't it? No, no, we're on the penultimate lap. I think. I'm a little bit confused because it's so quick. Looks like they're still racing, my friend. So we are on the penultimate lap.
Yeah, I think this would be lap 3.
Sorry, the last lap. Yeah, yeah. All right. Todd's also putting a bit of pressure back here. But we'll have to just continue to see whether or not, real quick there, Eric can't hold off Mr. Ronenberg to take essentially what side of the track that they want to be starting the feature race from. That'll be the key. Not necessarily be pole position. Could be. Let's go snack attack, as Ron says out there. Are you driving as well too, Ron? I'd imagine, Ron Wolf. Hopefully you will be. Probably coming up soon. Chris has had another moment, my friend, as these cameras are just tucked behind the hill. Now, Chris is now dropped. Where is Chris? He's off the track completely somewhere here. Another little moment for the McDonald's machine. Going everywhere but in the right direction on the track. Somehow he's still there. But dying stages of this final lap. Couple more corners to go. Who will it be? Mr. Rick Reader? 2 positions gained, or will it be Eric?
It's going to all come down to who gets out of this the hog pen here onto the straightaway and gets a clean exit there. And it looks like Rick's going to be able to kind of hold on to this. And I know it looks like Ronenberg's trying to use a slipstream, but I think Rick Reader's going to have that one. And it looks like he does. Fantastic first race. Little excitement, little off track, little lawn mowing coming from McDonald's there. Good, solid first race overall here.
And Giovanni, of course, didn't even bother to put a lap out there, stayed in the garage the whole time. He wants that whole last to first challenge, no doubt. Barney waves the flag, and then it is. So just had to give it for Chris, isn't it? He just started in that pole position, was looking very comfortable, made a little bit of a mistake, went off and mowed the grass, as you said, and that is just like that how it ends up there in the VIR. In this case, the VIN, the Virginia International Norfolk version of the track. Real quick, mate, what is the difference, actually? Because I'm not that familiar with this track as to the changes between this and the regular.
For sure. So with the biggest difference, obviously, is going to be distance. It's about 5.26 kilometers for the full course, and it's about 3.62 kilometers for...
There's Tyler's car.
That is...
Wow, Tyler!
That's not where your car is supposed to be. It's a great park job, though.
Yeah, I can't even get it. The cameraman can't even get it there. There it is. There's Tyler. He's caught into the trap fence. It trapped you quite well there for the Plan B Burger 69 racing machine, but he's still spinning the front wheel drive, obviously, my friend, because I don't know how you spin it. You can't be spinning the rear wheels. Look at that. That's fantastic. What a way to end his race for the Heat 1. We'll show you those results right now as I get ready for Heat 2.
All right. So, yeah, we had Rick Reader coming in first, Eric Ronenberg in second, Jason Lee in third, Evan Campbell in fourth, Tyler Agostino in fifth, Kenneth Ray in sixth, Todd Madole in seventh, Anthony Saleta in eighth, Carson Kalin in ninth, Matthew Dupois in 10th, Greg Beckman in 11th, Blake Gambrell in 12th, Tanner Klein in 13th, Giovanni Romano, obviously DNF, or did not start actually, and then Chris Hannigan in 15th.
Isn't that fantastic to see a car like that? That's the fun you're going to have here at the Beer League. We saw it before. For anyone if you caught it there in Long Beach, but drivers getting caught in the fountain area and all sorts of jazz. That's the fun. If anybody can find some sort of like crazy weird loophole in the iRacing world, they will. And they find it quite well. I mean, obviously, because iRacing's not going to sit there and go, oh, wait, we have a little bit of a loophole for if a car gets trapped into a fence area or something like that. Pretty sure the programmers aren't going to be detailing to work on that, of course, because they're just making sure that they can try to make the simulation as accurate as possible, and how a car plans into a fence isn't something that they plan on. But it's certainly entertaining from our aspect.
Yeah, no, it's great. It adds a little entertainment to see, okay, who can get themselves stuck the best here.
Isn't there a disappearing pit somewhere? I saw in a video the other day where drivers go off and they just like bloop into like the end of the earth, straight down into the sand pit that sucks them all the way down. I can't remember what track that is, but that happens as well.
I know it's popular in oval racing. That happens a lot.
Well, we're going to get that pace car peeled in and get ready for Heat 2, my friend. Austin Tucker, John Combs, Josh Freed, and Jeremy be on your front two rows. Look out for them. But as we see in the past, in the sprint reheat races, doesn't really matter where you start. It's where you finish that counts. Let's go. Green, green, green.
And Austin Tucker got himself a great jump as he was opens up about but he went real deep going into that horseshoe. And that's kind of what we talked about. That horseshoe is really sharp, and it's kind of misleading because it doesn't seem like it's going to be that much of a kind of a hairpin sort of feel to it.
A couple of drivers in the background is having a little bit of a tango early into this one.
Yeah, just getting up close and personal, just checking out each other's liveries. That's really what's going on.
They sent a few of them this evening, isn't they? Fantastic liveries, of course, spread across the grid. Burgers and fries and beers and family planning, as well as liqueurs, if you call them, or booze. Look at this tangoing at the moment between Austin Tuckers. He's in the Bailey's machine that we're just talking about from the Reese's machine, and that's Mr. Klein, I think, that's gone around. Yes, it is. Or pushed around, contacted around somewhere along the line, but rubbing and is racing and grinding.
Yeah.
Friendly rubbing, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Friendly bumping.
So a wee little nudge, just just giving them a little, hey, I'm still here. That's all it is.
And you won't have a million fouls of protest at the end of this one as well, too, because of B-Leagues. But having some fun and racing at a competitive level as best as you possibly can as Christopher goes through the drive-thru on the outside here for the McDonald's. Sorry, the Wendy's. Ooh, geez, he's going to kill me for that one. For the Wendy's.
Oh, there's another car way off in the grass there.
Yeah, that's Graham, I think, is going out in an adventure in the outback there of Virginia.
He paid for the track. He's going to use all of it.
Absolutely.
So.
Why not? Alexander Buller there for the 58 machine. Now, I did have the team names coming up. Maybe it'll sort itself out a little bit later, but we do have all the correct team names. It says Privateer at the moment. He ain't a privateer. He does have a team associated to him.
I mean, if he's on the pit lane pirates, that might make him a privateer in a sense.
True. True. If you get a letter of marquee there from the governor to say that you're allowed to take the other cars out with permission, that would be a privateer.
Exactly. We don't know.
That's what Henry Morgan was. People think he was a pirate, but he was actually a privateer.
Ooh,
he was paid by the British government to sink and destroy the enemy ships where it's possible. Until he raided Panama. And there was a peace treaty between... Here's a little trivia for everybody. There was a peace treaty between him, and Spain and England at the point, but news travel's a little slow in those days. They didn't get the message, raided Panama, of course, and I think the Spanish Empire was not very happy about that one after they found out.
I mean, understandably so. Yeah, that's usually not the way you want things to go
that,
for you.
Because I'm living in Panama, so that was rated it as Alexander goes in the pit road for some reason. Not quite sure he needs to. There is no damage model on. John Combs is at the moment leading this one from Josh Freed. So the battle of the Joshes, John and Josh, the battle of the Jays. Josh can still try to do something about this one. Still always showing up privateer. I do apologize. I do have the team's names in there. We tested that one before, myself there and Chris earlier, but see how that pans out for the main feature race.
Yeah, hopefully that's working. I do love seeing the brakes glowing as they go ripping by. It's just such a nice feature to quality. There's that little thing that really, I mean, outside of people watching or casting, you're never gonna see it. If you're driving, you're not going to see it, but
they even do it in the F1 game as well too, which I was quite surprised with. But it's just that little aesthetics to add to that one. Once again, the camera isn't quite panned up for the pirate pit crew racing there of Josh. He's still trying to bring it to John, and he's only got essentially this lap to go because we are in only essentially a couple of corners to go. Now, very difficult overtaking opportunity in this final sector. I think John should be able to hold him off as long as he can hold that car onto the tracks, more importantly than anything, and give him a front row opportunity for the feature race, and it looks like he's certainly going to be able to do that. Let's hope. I don't think the exit power there from Josh Freed is going to be enough. They'll make their way around this final corner as we do see a Adam, I think, or Jonathan leaving it. Oh, that's a close photo finish, 80 thousandths of a second, but he did get it done. Just John Combs holds off.
Fantastic race for those two. They were really dueling it out. Very similar cars. I think both are in the Hyundai. These races, they're just so much fun.
Yeah, get out of the fence too. It's good. Yeah, I feel the other driver's going to be crossing the line at the moment. Just trying to find out where the remaining drivers are. Probably having a little bit of fun like that. Whoa, he just hit an invisible barrier. I haven't even seen before, Mr. Adam Joseph. Mail hot. And there it is, the front wheel drive trying to spin. I don't think there's going to get a flip there, my friend. At all, Graham Jordan. But the family first planning team, once again, it's just privateer, but we do know that's what you need if you want to be, well, maybe not planning for a family. Perhaps the delivery, the sponsor that's on the side of that car. Here's Adam Klein. And he goes behind a tree. Get those camera people fired. There's John, the winner. On the other family planning team, look at the livery as well, too. You can certainly tell there's lots of indicators on that of how you'd plan for a family. If you can see those symbols.
Huh. Yeah, I hadn't actually looked all that close at that.
Yeah.
That's yep, that's a thing.
That is.
Well, I mean, very artistically done, but yeah.
That's the overall results for Heat 2. Real quick, we'll show you that one. Is it going to be gridding for the feature race?
All right, so we had John Combs in first, Josh Freed in second, Austin Tucker in third, Jeremy Castro in fourth, Brian LeBlanc in fifth, Rodney Flores in sixth, Tyler Carlton in seventh, Cody Barrett in eighth, Christopher Flick in ninth, Adam Mailhot in 10th, Graham Jordan in 11th, Zach Garrow in 12th, Alexander Bueller in 13th, Adam Klein in 14th, and Jonathan Lane in 15th.
And what we'll do at the moment is that we'll just pull up the overall grid because we won't have time to go through all of the other drivers. And here it should be your grid to go through. Let me just empty the screen out there and show you the grid now for our feature race.
So Rick Reeder and John Combs will be our front runners. We have Eric Ronenberg and then Josh Freed, Jason Lee, Austin Tucker, Evan Campbell, Jeremy Castro, Tyler Agostino, Brian LeBlanc, Kenneth Ria, Rodney Flores, Todd Maydal, Tyler Carlton, Anthony Saleda, Corey Barrett, Carson Caitlin, Christopher Flick, Matthew Dupuy, Adam Mailhot, Greg Beckman, Graham Jordan, Blake Gambrell, Zach Guerrero, Tanner Klein, Alexander Bueller, Giovanni Romano, Adam Klein, Chris Hannigan, and Jonathan Lane.
I think we do have a couple more. No, that's it, actually.
I was going to say, yeah, I think we only have 30 today.
We do. Excellent. And there is your pace car, and let's get ready to go in our main feature race. Now, you will have a pace car at some point. Will come back out. Could have two. We don't know at this point. It is randomized, but it gives every drivers the opportunity for the strategy. We've seen their strategies before in the past. Will they come back into play now for the Virginia International North version of the track? And there is. So Rick Reeder from John Combs, let's go racing.
And they got a pretty solid jump in, and this is going to be where the chaos ensues because it's a very, very heavy braking zone, and you can see it getting through actually fairly cleanly. There wasn't too much carnage there. Not often you can see 4 cars or 3 or 4 cars wide going through turn 1 in Virginia, but these touring cars they're fairly small. They're not the big burly cars. They're LMP2s and things like that are quite wide. They're fairly small, little compact, little hatchbacks. Nope, this I say that as the Shake Shack goes for a little spin. Not I'm sure his favorite, but unfortunately there. But we do have our first kind of incident, I guess. And for those who do not know, yes, there is no damage model, as Biggles had mentioned earlier. And any damage incurred does immediately get repaired, so they don't have to worry too much about that. It's all kind of just keep her going and get back on the road and pin it down and get moving.
Keep on trucking without the trucks. As we can see a couple of drivers, Alexander at the moment, ball there, battling it out there with, I think it's Tyler Augusto right next to him. Yes, it is. There's Tyler. He's dropped a couple of places so far in the 69 machine, trying to make it all the way back up through here. Got to work on Alexander. What a launch, actually. You have to give it to this man right here. 14 positions gained already there. And looking pretty sharp, but another one looking sharp. The battle here again between some of these drivers that have done this all season long. There's Eric Ronenberg. And just behind him there is Mr. Tucker, who's gained 2 positions. Looking like he's going to take this one back there. He's going, not yet. Eric himself will get a battle. It's going to be great. Honda versus Audi.
Yeah, and this is Eric has a little bit of Tucker has the outside line, which does get a little trickier until you kind of get to this part here, but now it looks like he's just kind of taken over and claimed that spot to be his, and that's it. Too bad. As it looks like Evan Campbell is actually trying to get involved now from a little bit behind Ronenberg here, but you can see quite a few cars all kind of single file through the snake section.
We have a yellow. We have a caution already.
Already? Wow. Okay. Yep.
Exactly. I was just about to say, I don't know, so my yellow flag's been called out very, very early. That's definitely going to spice things up for that whole strategy that you're usually going to get at the end there, because drivers aren't going to have the fuel to go to the end. So now you're going to have to expect how many sort of pit stops we have. Now, the yellow flags is called randomly, so it's not because of events. There was events, of course, that have occurred, many of them. Corey's gone off track in a replay on this one. That's a little bit further back there, Corey, the number 7 machine. Now, I wonder if it's just done him on his own there. That's for... Nope, there's a bit of contact. And that'll actually cause a couple of cars maybe there, just to hopefully not get involved, but they did. Corey's been involved again in another incident since then. But that's what you get. It's beer league racing. And whether or not they're going to pit road would be the curious thing. Where are they on the track? Show that track map in a second. In fact, I don't know why the track map is problems with that
turn one for most of them here, but I mean, I'd have a hard time expecting them to go into the pits this early. I mean, you're on lap 3. You've got 46 minutes left still.
Yeah, it's very early to go on the pit road. I have got that fixed up at the moment, so it does show you the team names there. I sorted that one out. I don't know why I did that before, but it is showing it currently at the moment, the correct team names. In the chat, let's go Snack Attack. Where is Ron? I don't think Ron is actually racing today there, Ron, so I don't see you on the grid. That's probably the reason why you're out there in the chat. Snack Attack. Yeah. Where is the Snack Attacker team, actually?
There's some pretty solid liveries for the Snack Attack team. I know we saw the Shake Shack car already. And
I'm going to go back and have a look at the chopper at the start, race start. That's actually a little bit after. Have to kind of does that. So when we actually go green flag racing, it's the only thing is the overlay doesn't show you the green racing from the start. This is just showing you when it considers green. Look at that. We had spins even before the formation lap was formed earlier on from... I'm not quite sure who that was that went off, but Atheist was just in front of him. Anyway, back to live action. And there's Rick Reeder leading this race currently at the moment. The pace car has its lights on. So we'll have another lap. Think about a race start, my friend.
Oh, ooh, some dummy in there, and looks like an Audi is going to go into the pits. A couple cars kind of look like they were going to go in and then hopped out, but it looks like we've got a...
No, we do have a few coming in.
Yeah, a few. Actually, a lot more than I expected to.
Yeah, Carlson, Chris. See if I can get a bit of pit lane. This is it. Very busy down here at pit road right now. So they're taking the opportunity. Can they gas it up to the end of the race spot? Or just maybe just a quick tyre change there? Something around the line there? It's hard to tell. Let's see if we go up on the jack. We're looking at Chris. Nope. That's just a splash and dash. Absolutely, because if they go up on the jacks, they're taking tyres. So you'd imagine it would barely bear through bore through any of those tyres after just a couple of laps, really. So splash and dash maybe to stretch it out a little bit later on. We'll see. Not required, as you said. As you flavour that, my friend. Flavouring his way currently in P1, Rick Reeder, who started in P1 and just ahead, kept ahead there of Mr. John Combs for the family planning team to remain in P2. Let's look at the position gainers and losers for the rest of the field. Real cool. We'll go green flag racing again soon, and you can have a look at the moment, isn't it? As I said, Mr. Alexander Buller did a fantastic job gaining a 16 positions, as well as Matthias Dupis there, up 10. Now, they're pretty much legitimate positions gained too from the racing, because not many of the drivers that were ahead of them have actually made the pit stops, or made pit stops. So they're still in the net positions that they gained during the start of this race.
Yeah, it's very interesting that, I'm still trying to figure out why guys are going in, or why they decide to go for the pit stop, but I mean, hey. That's why they're racing, and I'm up here talking about it. Well, and it looks like
they're messing around as well too, mate. In the beer league, they're a little bit more fun and not so serious. They're like, you know what? I felt like a drink. That's why I'm in a pit road. You know, they're like
it looks like Adam Klein is also up 16. Oh,
yep.
Yeah, it's up 16 as well.
think you might be right. Green flag racing will be underway in a minute as that pace car is peeled back in again. So family planning are leading here at the moment in P1 and in P3 or 4, a little bit further back. You can see down the livery, but man leading this one's Rick Reader. And let's go flavoring this pops as green again, which we imagine is going to cause a bit of carnage here at the beer league. Let's see how it pans out into turn 1.
Surprisingly clean so far. Not seeing anyone tumbling suddenly down. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. As Bueller does drop a couple spots there, but doesn't look like he went too far out. So guys are slowly kind of maneuvering their way through here. As we sort of head down the left hook.
There is a pile
and
up.
that's going to be... like I said, the left hook is probably where we'll see a lot of people get pretty turned around, and sure enough... right on cue.
Yeah, but not too bad. Oh, this is going to be a really bad 3 abreast going up through here is not suggested. It was in the memo.
Yeah.
But,
3 wide is always...
Who reads the memo? Is Chris making his way back through there after his pit stop, unscheduled pit stop, of course, and once again we get stuck a little bit behind the camera, not working this one out. Riding on board there with Rodney Flores. Rodney Flores for the Children of the Corn Liquor Racing Team as he's belling it out there with Mr. Crystal Flick. Just up the road, who's up with Mr. Max Verstappen. Of course, you have a few of the other drivers up there. So great little battles forming across the grid. You'll see them all racing along. Trust me, there are plenty of them. Further back, there's also a little bit of a brawl. That's the Brewski up the road there. The Brewing with the ski. Adam Klein.
Having himself a gray one. He's up 22, it looks like. Right behind Alexander Bueller with his
straight
21.
off into the grass there. Old Anthony. I don't think he'd even found the brake pedal for the 100 grand racing machine. And the snack attack.
Yeah, looks
so
like
there's your snack attack out there, Rob. It's one of the snack attack teams. Let's see the replay of Freed getting bumped off.
Whoop.
Question about that one. Let's find it.
It looks like Gillette just taking someone else out with him. I think there was a family planning car behind him.
This is Josh Freed getting bumped around just for it's all. Yeah, that was a little bit early in that. Don't like to rewind it too much, but we will just real quick because I just wanted to see it. There it is. So that's by popular demand out there in the chat, and there's Chris Freed, and I didn't think everybody was involved in that one. And you can see that for a second. Actually, he didn't do too bad, really. He didn't really get tapped. He's just avoiding the collision like everybody else was. Back to live pitches. And Rick Reader at the moment. Trying to hold off Mr. John. As we're into lap 7. More of a time than anything. 39 minutes remaining, more than the laps. As Alexander Buller just set the fastest lap. He's also in a nice little battle just a little bit further down the road there. So Mr. Rick Reader has to try to hold off Mr. John Combs as long as he possibly can. He's in high spirits, you know that for a fact. Should be in high spirits.
I see what you did there in high spirits. Nice.
The puns come thick and fast, my friends. The beer league. Guess what it's all about.
Oh, for sure.
Have a look at John. Right, yeah. He's
say,
planning his way to get past Mr. Rick Reader.
He's really hoping to have this one wrapped up.
Hey, there you go. See, you're catching on, my friend.
But,
you're swimming in those puns this evening, aren't you? See, we can keep going if you want.
Just throw all the puns. Everything can be pun related if you really want.
Everything but the kitchen sink. Good. I'll throw that one too, as well. Well, there it is. Oh, we just getting warmed up. Trust me, everybody out there. I hope you're tuning in there. Hit the like. Hit the thumbs up if you do like some of these puns. Hit the thumbs down if you don't. Don't hit the thumbs down. We'll just tell us to get better. We will. Trust me, we're planning on it. Tyler and the two Tylers. So it's Battle of Tyler Augustino and Tyler Carlton, as well as Giovanna. Remember this man? We know very much this man, don't we, for the Pit Crew Pirates. He's leading the championship here. And he's going to pit road just on, well, way
Interesting.
earlier. Now, is the G1 going to do one of those? I'm going to go to the end specials now. That'll be something to look out for later. But first of all, let's go back to the Battle of the Tylers. I guarantee between these two drivers, a Tyler will take a position between each of those Tylers. And which one?
Oh, as we see McDonald's, or as it's known down in Aussie land, Mecca's.
Macca's, yep. You got it. Good call.
Mm-hmm. Been watching myself a lot of Aussie Rules football lately. They have ads for it constantly.
Yep, it is. I think they've all trademarked that. Oh, somebody's off into grass. Register there, but keep an eye peeled on the Ultimate Spice Spirits there with the Buffalo on the side of the car. Look at this. Through the S's, and they're going to go, maybe try to go by side. He's going to barricade. He's barged his way through. He's charging like the Buffalo. He's racing like a Buffalo, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's he has no qualms going too wide, and
not even going off the track as well.
almost didn't work out very.
Cameras just switched to Rude that one just at the wrong time.
It's an interesting little space to have to swing through there to try and go too wide. As it's not the cleanest area to do it. There's not a whole lot of space, but it definitely is. We'll go with doable. As we saw, you might have to eat a little bit of curb.
Oh, not that much, Christopher. Just as you mentioned eating it for the diabetics team in the Wendy's, and the track has eaten him a little bit too much there. He's going to go, actually, probably elect to go to pit road. Not a bad idea. He would have scrubbed so much speed anyway. Wouldn't he have gone down that main straightaway without getting, all the dirt and grit and pulled the wrapper off that burger he was eating at McDonald's. So, sorry, Wendy's. He's going to murder me for that one. I don't even know what the Wendy's burger is, but either that, it'd be munching that one down.
Ooh. Wendy's burgers, they're the ones they're squared instead of circular.
Yes, they're squared. Yep, that's exactly right. I had one just the other day, actually, because living back in the city, so I'm mopping up the junk food for now that I haven't had for over about 2 years, living out in the middle of nowhere.
Makes it harder to call up your Mickey D's.
Food. Yeah, and I'll get sick of it very soon, trust me, and I'll get back to cooking proper meals. But for now, you see, the problem is, too, it's all these drivers out there at their liveries, aren't they? They're just throwing all this fast food in my face, and then I wake up and I'm like, I'm hungry, what do I want to eat? What's in my mind? Watching hours of racing drivers with liveries about fast food. Damn
100%.
branding.
I mean, it makes me want that, get myself some Kraken rum, just...
Oh, yeah. Really, it's Kraken rum?
Love. Yeah. Yeah, it's on, I think that's, Gio's car, the one right in front here.
Yeah, we're...
Just ahead of Ryan here.
Just ahead of Ryan. Where is Gio? I'm trying to find... Yeah, there's Gio. Release the Kraken rum.
Yeah, he's got his Release the Kraken on.
Well, there's some big crew pirates if you want to be releasing the Kraken. The Audi drivers at the moment. Teammates going for it. Corey. A couple of drivers are making pit stops as well on top of that one. Just to let you know, Austin Tucker's in, Jason Lee's in. You can see that in your right-hand side of the timing board. There's your Release the Kraken. And then is he going to be releasing the pirates? The pit crew pirates is going to be the key. So there's the family
Fantastic
planning
game.
on top of it as well, my friend. So there's Tyler. There's the Reese's machine climbing his way back up through the Plan B burger. I'm not sure. I've never had a Plan B burger, my friend. Had a Plan A burger.
I was going to say Plan B burger, does that make them part of the snack attack, or is that family planning?
Yeah.
Right?
For the diabetics.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
That's your snack attack. That's the zero livery of the 666 machine of Carlston.
Okay, yeah, 666. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, well, does that say Hail Satan on it? It does.
And further up, there's Anthony Saletta for the snack attack. Having a little bit of a contact with one of the other drivers, or both those drivers exchanging Christmas cards early this year, but why not? Releasing the Kraken. Rick Reed is still leading this one just up the road, as you can see by a second there on John Combs. So those battle should be resuming a little bit later. Giovanni just set the fastest lap of everybody, tucked up down there in P19. And an overtake possibility happening for the Reese's machine there of Jeremy Castro trying, didn't quite get it. Adams blocked him off at this point right now. He's got to be also careful about Tyler. Also bringing the action here. Go to the blimp camera so we can kind of see a little bit better version of this battle brewing up, and that's all the battle brewing up at the moment, as you can see there for P5. 23 positions gained there for Matt and Klein. That's just trying to hold off this battle right now behind him.
Yeah, he's having a fantastic race and really, really doing well. He's kind of putting that car where it's very hard to get by him once he's gotten past them, and it's been kind of fun to watch because yeah, he gets ahead of you and you're kind of stuck. Not a whole lot of space for you to go. Ooh, as we almost get a little bit of contact there. As yeah, I believe that's
back off
Corey
or get what does that say? Get back off or get diabetes at the moment for the car of Tyler Augusto. Corey Barrett that we're riding on board for the pit crew. Pirate just like going, "Arrgh, be backing off, my friend. I'm going full foot to the sea." That didn't turn out too well, did it? But I gotta keep working on my Pirates puns. There it is. For Corey. He's trying to bring it. Now, Chris has had a moment. Oh, no, Chris. No. No, Chris, one of the organizers of this fantastic league. Send me some files before there, making sure it looks good there. McDonald's of Chris has gone somewhere. Chris, you know I'm going to do it to you. You know I'm going to show you on the replay. Just because I love you. Let's have a look what happened, Chris.
That McDonald's car having a...
Oh, yeah, he's had a tango, actually.
Few issues.
Spin around, but he kept it out of the fence. Not that the damage is really going to cause you too much problems here with the damage off, but it's just damage and pride.
Yeah.
Back to the live timing there. I always pick on Chris a little bit more than other people because Chris loves that he has a lot of fun. Eric Runneberg making his way back up to the field, back after early incident, of course, because he's down 8 positions. Got a bit of Rodney to deal with. The children of the corn liquor. Rodney, you're going to yield that one too easy, my friend. And Eric's going to have to make his way around the hard way. Outside lane. Further up, John. Now, trying to put a little bit more pressure. In fact, than anything, John's got pressure from this man behind him. So Alexander, who's got 23 positions gained there for the snack attack, is definitely a hungry driver.
I mean, if you had to drive staring at a jar of Nutella all day, I'd be pretty hungry too. How do you not love your Nutella? But yeah, he's having a fantastic one. He is, I believe, 23 up now.
23 up. And
that's
looking to make it
definitely a way to go about a race.
They're still keeping Mr. Rick Reeder. So Rick Reeder's not running away with it. And look at that last time from Rick Reeder, a 31 flat. So these drivers are about almost half a second lap quicker right now. Rick Reeder, I'm pretty sure, is aware of that. Is he saving his tyres? If he's conserving his fuel? But perhaps what will be another safety car or time to go on pit road. You can see currently at the moment Todd's gone on the pit road. So we could be getting to the stage, my friend, that your tyres are going off the cliff or your fuel situation's starting to get in a little bit of trouble.
Now we get to see some, fuel strategies. See who gets lucky, who made the right call. Did Tyler Augustino make the right call, pitting on lap 3?
Yeah, almost everybody has pit. A lot of pit drivers pit on lap 3. Some of the drivers have boxed recently in lap 9, lap 8, lap 11. The ones those have pitted at those later laps should have no problems to go to the end. But the drivers that boxed really early, yes, exactly. Your question will be, can they go to the end with the question? Further back at the battles that are occurring, here's Brian LeBlanc. And I tell you what, yeah, I do apologize once again. It's not a regular track that the camera crew turn up to. So, well, questions answered. Rick Reeder's in. So I guess because he was going about a second lap slower, he's either had that or just not comfortable with the car or elected to go, all right, I'll get it over and done with. Evan Campbell's also in. To pit road. It'll be a matter of whether John and Alexander Buer as well, too. We'll be looking at going in soon. Keep an eye on that one.
The Kleins also have gone in. Both, it looks like Adam and Tanner went into the pits there. Got a little bit of pulling for Brian LeBlanc or Rick Reeder, the Canadians here. A couple of the Canadians. I mean, Giovanni is also... He did pit, actually already, Giovanni did on, I believe it was lap 7, yeah.
Yes, they did. I'll show those pit stops in a second coming up on the screen. To give you an idea, there's Giovanni there. And now he's going to do his Giovanni things. He's going to slice his way through the field. He's going to be a main contender towards the end of the race, and that's what he generally does. Josh Freed at the moment. Not too bad. Having made his pit stop as well. In fact, if anything, it's showing Josh has made 2. And he's got Kenneth for company. So keep an eye out there for Josh Freed. Another potential possibility of a podium. And there's and they're going to make their way past Chris. He's got a little bit off-track excursion. He's just starting to get the car temperature back in the tires. You can see the rear end wiggling around a little bit. He's going to have to hold off Ken Ray here. John Combs has gone in. Alexander Bureau's gone in. So we definitely have that indication right now. You cannot go too much further than this moment in the race because they're the last to pit stop, my friend.
Yeah, it's. I think it's going to be who's not. Usually it's who's the first to blink, but in this case, I think it's mostly who's first to not blink is. Or the last to blink will be the one that.
Love some Shake Shack there, Kenneth. None of that here in Panama, unfortunately. One of the only fast food places that aren't available here.
I have never seen Shake Shack. I don't even. I don't have those up as far as I know.
He used to have sometimes a bit of a late bit. Go, oh, Shake Shack, Shake Shack. I'd go sometimes when I wasn't busy, but you'd have lines outside of it. It's okay. I mean, In-N-Out Burger still. Somebody has to have an In-N-Out Burger. That's my favorite burger place in the States. That's not
I vaguely remember someone having one last time I casted with you on this. I think someone did have an In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out Burger, guys. Maybe we get some sponsorship from In-N-Out Burger in the future for the drivers. We'll see. It's definitely. It's not available in all. I still can't believe it's not available in all the states, isn't it? And I don't think it's available anywhere on the East Coast. Tell me in the chat. Let us know. I've only had it like when I was in California or Vegas and other places.
You know, Canada, we don't get anything fun.
You probably get the regular. You don't. Yeah, but anyway, you
know,
Wendy's,
Burger. No, we get McDonald's.
You get McDonald's.
Oh yeah, Wendy's,
KFC,
McDonald's.
Yeah. But these are
Got,
the exclusive ones. But I don't think Shake Shack and In-N-Out Burger are outside the states anymore.
And we got to find one of the teams needs to get a Tim Hortons. One of the Canadians should get a Tim Hortons for theirs.
And I've never had Tim Hortons.
It's coffee wise, it's coffee.
Oh, it's a coffee joint, like
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Starbucks, but less Canadian. Pretentious.
Right. Ooh, who's that off? A little slow coming out of the corner. Wasn't Adam? No, I think there was a back marker about to be overtaken there. As we show the battle box actually gives an indication going on at the moment. Another pit stop there from Corey. So do you think that early pit stop wasn't quite enough and he had to come back in? We'll have to see. John Combs now up into P5 there. Alexander, and guess who's behind them? Giovanni. So Giovanni's had his pit stops, and I think he can go to the end right now.
He'd be close. Like I said, it was lap 7. We're on lap 16, so there's the car. The Wrangler sitting sideways.
I think that was... Oh, Kenneth Ray's going in. There's a nice battle brewing up here at the moment between Graham Jordan and Greg Beckman. Family planning versus the Pit Crew Pirates. I think you're going to need some family planning, aren't you, when those pirates return to port?
Yeah, it's definitely a good call to have. Although I don't think they used much.
Yeah. And after being on sailing, Augusto goes in, Brian's going in. So that's the second pit stop for those drivers. But those are the drivers, I believe, that did box on those lap 1 and lap 3, incidents that they definitely could not go to the end. Yeah, all those pirates that have been out at sea, mate, sailing the 7 seas there for 6 to 7 months. When they go to port, you know, they're not going to be just sitting around doing nothing. They're going to be planning for some future family pirates. I don't know what we're turning the show into at the moment, but let's get back to the B-League racing, and let's get back to what could potentially be battles for podium positions.
Yeah, Giovanni's has actually gone up 22 positions over the last little bit here, very quietly. Like, we've kind of mentioned him, but he didn't really realize he'd gone up 22 spots already.
Giovanni knows. He's done it before.
Ah, yes.
See if he's happy to sit back at the moment here and just watch the battle brewing up the road from him. We're right on board with him a little bit here. Get the bird's eye view there of Pit Crew Pirate driver there of Giovanni, leading the championship at the moment. And if he can get a hurl of more points, he's going to be looking even more stronger towards the end of the season. A couple of drivers to contend with up the road. You have to give it to Alexander Buro. Alexander Buro is not going to make it easy for him. Just like, I've gained 22 positions as well, mate. So, but Alexander's got to get past Mr. John Combs, who has been essentially running the lead of this race with Rick Reeder for a long time. Rick Reeder back into the lead of this race. Austin Tucker now snuck into the P2 with that pit stop situation that he's done to get him into that nice position. And this is the rest of the battle there for the podium position. We don't know if another pace car might come back out and hand things around a little bit, spice things up.
It'd be really interesting because I know if you're some of the drivers, you'd be loving a pace car to come out at this point. Looking at the guys that pit on lap 3, like Josh Freed, I'm sure you would quite enjoy that that extra safety car here.
Yeah, where's Joshy at the moment? Down at P7 exactly. He would be loving that to come back out. And the thing is too, in this fantastic league here, is that just spinning it into a fence is never going to cause a pace car to come out because everybody is generally not going to get any damage. And here it is, Giovanni going to seize this opportunity, I think, for sure. Don't leave the door open with this man in town. He will burgle you a position, no problems. Steal that Nutella from your pantry shelf. If Alexander's going to allow him to.
He actually held on to that quite well considering, yeah, he went fairly deep going into that corner and still managed to kind of hold off Gio there and kind of keep him behind him there. As we have the battle of the 22.
Yeah, the 22. Position Gainers Club. The 20, almost 20, almost at the 22 minutes. I think you said that on the 22-minute marker, so that was actually even better. But 20 minutes remaining currently in this track. There you go. How about that right now? You can say it. 20 minutes and 22 seconds remaining, and those two drivers at the 22 positions gained are battling it out for that P3 position. But John Combs is there too, remember, so he's trying to hold off there. Mr. Rick Reeder leading. He's got about a 1.2 second gap. That's not enough. Not 20 minutes ago, not with this crew. Approaching your tailpipe at some point in the future, once they finish their battles and see who's going to be coming out ahead of the other drivers. Taylor Klein's had a little bit of a moment off track. What's happened to Taylor? And this is because it's brewing back here. Now, Taylor in the Aussie coloured green and gold car there has just gone straight on and said, no, I need a drink. You guys just sort that out. I'll come back in the car and join this a little bit later on the beer league, having fun. That's what that's about. That's exactly what I would have done, Taylor. I don't know if you did just snap a break. It looked to me like you just happy to let them through. And just continue on your merry own way.
Yeah, well, I'll stop you just as well as your brakes do.
I would be consuming a drink first. I'm not worried about the brakes. I'm not worried about the racing just yet. Let me grab a drink. Let me grab a beer. Let me go to Foster's. That drink Foster's, but...
Foster's.
Here we go, Giovanni.
In a long time.
Still can't find a way past Alex, who still can't find a way past Mr. Combs. That's what the situation's brewing for these drivers. Tucker's gone in. Are we going to see another second round of pit stops? And so has Giovanni. Now, are they anticipating a safety car soon, maybe or not? The odds are maybe getting higher and higher, but that's a bit of a challenge.
It's an interesting choice. I mean, they might get lucky, and yeah, if another pace car or safety car comes out, then they might actually take advantage or not have to worry about trying to grab that last little bit and have pretty fresh tires. And if you're Gio there, I mean, he was on fairly old tires. They were lap 7. We're on lap 20 now, so we're looking at 13 lap old tires. That might have been playing into a factor of how he was struggling to get by Bueller and Combs, but I guess we'll have to see how it all goes on here.
Yeah, there is your pit stops last laps that they did, so you can imagine Mr. Lee currently in P14. He's boxed on lap 9 as well as Mr. Flicktack back then P24. I can imagine seeing a little pit entry sign next to their name coming up soon, because it's going to be a long time away, isn't it? Like You can't do 17 minutes in this race, I don't think, after you box on lap 9. Certainly considering that I have drivers now on their second pit stop territory. Unless they're just so kind to their tyres, you never know.
Yeah, you'd have to be really nice, like, you know, nice massage after, as Bueller has also come in there.
So we're expecting now the second pit stops from most of those drivers. Under the assumption that will be the case right now, but we're not. Well, you're a racing driver, but I'm not. But if I'm seeing drivers coming in for a second pit stop, that indicates to me they don't have enough. Do not have enough to go to the end.
Yeah, usually if you start seeing mainly the leaders, if you're seeing the leaders coming in, that's usually a good indicator that maybe I won't be making it.
What about Carlson? Side by side next to Graham Jordan.
They are nice and tight there as he gets a little squirrely coming out of that turn there and eats a little too much of the curb before heading into the S's there. Then making their way through a turn.
So Jason's going in,
turn 7.
as we kind of said there before, because he boxed on lap 9. So definitely could not make it to the end on that one. Once again, some of the drivers right now would be going, come on, give me another pace car, another safety car. It actually used to be called the pace car? Before it was called the safety car. Somewhere along the line. Can't remember. Obviously, in American motorsports, a lot of times it's called the pace car, and European, the rest of the world, it's called the safety car. But other way, it does the same thing. Paces everybody down for safety's sake.
Exactly. Well, we do have the 3 Hyundais up front here with Reeder, Combs, and Campbell. Sounds like an interesting band name.
Yeah.
Reeder, Combs, and Campbell.
You say Reeder,
That
Combs,
or a
and
lawyer's
Campbell.
office.
Yeah, it's the Reeder, Combs, and Campbell show. Down here in Virginia. Let's go. Yeehaw! Well, I shouldn't be doing yeehaw. But yeah, Virginia's got that classic Southern. Certainly got some awesome country. I like actually country music quite a bit, actually.
Oh, well, you just missed out. Last week was Calgary Stampede up here.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. It's one of the biggest rodeos in
See,
at least
I like
in
that.
North America.
I'm a fan of everything. I'm a fan from everything from like hard, they call it death metallic music or whatever like that. I go to an opera any day and watch an opera, classical music, sit down, listen to a symphony. Also sit there and go to the wild, Western country, like anything. I just like, I'm a fan of all music and all genres of music and enjoy the experience that everybody has from different types. So love it. Just go to an AC/DC rock and roll concert and I enjoy everything. Said from opera down to anything that floats your boat. It's all about the experience, the music, and enjoying it. I never one that just hates a genre of music. Just love them all.
Fair enough, yeah. I've recently gotten into like Viking metal.
Oh yeah. Actually, I've heard quite a that. Actually, a couple of those bands. Actually, I used to listen to a lot of that when I was building some sets in the theater by myself, and that's where I just listened to all the different types of genre. I just go, give me something that's new. Yeah. There was actually a great band that plays, sings. Yeah, like a couple of drivers are getting the pit road, so we won't need to go over that. We won't talk about our music genre. Anybody can post that out there if you like. Any types of music that you listen to? Anything to suggest that we could probably listen to? I don't mind. I like that. Just give me some. I'm going to probably search it up later when I'm working. Give me some Viking music. I mean, Viking classic and all sorts of stuff. I don't know. There's plenty of it.
Oh, Peyton Parrish, man. He's got a great, actually. He also has a little bit of like metal sort of stuff and rock. But he has this album called Most Magical Album on Earth, I think, or something like that. And it's all Disney music.
Wow. Okay. See,
it's very different. For the first time I heard it, I was like, really? This is a thing? Yeah, the most magical album on Earth, and it's like, like Let It Go from
like
Frozen,
something
but just metal.
Beatles would have yet have. Oh, somebody was off. I don't think they're going to be a part of that one. Rick Reed's in actually for his second pit stop as scheduled. I think that was Anthony that's gone off track there. We'll keep an eye on this battle that's brewing up at the moment. Diablo Swing Orchestra is one of the bands that comes from the
swing, heavy metal, everything. Hey, we'll talk about bands. Adam Klein's battling it at the moment. Lots of battles going on there. Rick Reed and John Combs are in, so they definitely, we're looking at 3 stops for the majority of drivers right now. I think overall 2 to 3. This battle.
Looks like Combs has also come in here as well. John Combs is also in the pits. So I think it's
all going to pan out. I can't show you the track map, unfortunately. Just has not working for me. It's broken again. I still have to remember to try to get that sorted out. It works fine for the qualifying. Works fine for those heat races, but then when it comes to the feature race, it just breaks on me. Giovanni, now, here he is. So, did he make that right pit stop strategy at the right time at the right place and done some of his magic and get his way back up through there? You can see 3 pit stops next to his name, so I don't imagine now, 11 minutes ago, he needs to go back in the pit road. Maybe Elvin Campbell that's on 1 has to. Maybe Eric that's on 1 has to. We've seen Eric Ronenberg do some of his magic. He can stretch the pit stops to places that no man or woman has ever imagined before in the past. So if he could do it, anybody could do it. Well, that'll be an indication for the rest of the team. Giovanni now is going to try everything he can. He's got Buller behind him. They've been battling it out there. There is Brian LeBlanc and Austin Tucker just behind them. Romano's gone for it on his teammate. Releasing the Kraken. I don't think there's too much of a fight there. Corey's let him on by and now can become a back marker to Alexander behind him, who's gained 20 positions, and instead of 22, he's on 23 positions gained for Giovanni. Remember, we are suspecting that some of those other drivers will have to go in. There's Corey going in to pit road. Flashing lights there from Giovanni. So he's like, thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. And the battle brewing between these 2 drivers again, Brian and Alexander. We don't know quite sure if they have to go back in again. I don't think so at this point right now. Mr. Tucker is just lurking in the background. John Combs is coming back after he's made his pit stop. We think Evan Campbell leading this race will have to go in. Does Eric have to go in? We're not 100% sure. That's how it's going to pan out. 10 minutes to go. Still a possibility of a pace car. Was that Giovanni going a little bit wide? Maybe. He did survive to see another day, but this battle that's behind him is going to be crucial here in the dying stages of our round 11 here at the Virginia International North Raceway. And you have the Biggles and you have Kevin in the casting booth with me. Kevin, how's this going to be panning out now, mate?
Hinted. And it's going to go well. I think I'm very curious, if Campbell ends up coming in or Eric. They both pit last on, I believe it was lap 13 for both of them. So it's going to be very interesting because if Evan does come in, you almost think Eric has to. As I say that, Evan Campbell does come in.
Yeah, it is pit 30. It's lap 13, isn't it? So will Ronenberg follow him in? That'll be a question. I just think Eric is the only one that has, and in the past,
there it is,
now he's gone in as well, so they'll lose those positions. So net lead of this race, will that be Tyler? Tyler go to the end. That'd be absolutely fantastic from Tyler. 8 positions gained.
He was in lap
16.
16. So he's about 3 lap older tires than Giovanni, but obviously a little bit more space as he's got about an 8-second gap there.
It could be enough of 8 minutes to go. We'll keep an eye on those lap times. There's your pit stops that everybody's done. Now, we don't imagine anybody else in for a pit stop unless they've not managed their fuel. So the 2 battles that are occurring at the moment there's Bueller and Giovanni, who Giovanni's looking to try to make that race win again. Another one for him. But Tucker on LeBlanc is also another nice little battle to brew up there for final possible potential podium positions, but at least in the top 5. There
Looks like Giovanni was just under a second faster that last lap over Tyler, so that'll be interesting. Although
he's going to risk it, isn't he? Absolutely everything, because he knows he's going to have to take a second a lap, essentially, with 8 minutes to go in this race to do it. And if anybody can, it's Giovanni for sure. Because if he's going 25 positions in this race, all he has to do is gain 1 more, and he's going to have a race win and another one up his belt, which will be perfect for him. Eric Ronenberg's come back at the pit road. He's going to be tucked up in the gearbox there of Chris. So after making his pit stop, Chris has also gained 19 positions. You have to say to Chris, after a couple of those off-track excursions and spinnaroos and stuff, he's still holding in fantastic there for the number 4 machine. And is he going to want to do his best to hold off Eric? I'm pretty sure. Not if you go off the track excursion like that there, Chris. And if I just haven't, no, I haven't cursed you, Chris. He just actually, I think he just allowed Eric through and said, all right, Eric, get up the road there, chase him down.
That car's facing the wrong direction.
Not sure who that was, but there it is. So now it's up to Mr. Tucker to do something about Brian. And both these drivers about 6 positions gained, you can see, but I just don't know. Alexander there, you got to remember, you got to think about this. So he's keeping the absolute pace, isn't he, with Giovanni, for sure. Keeping with him.
They're both lapping about 1 second faster than Tyler is right now.
Let's go on board actually for a second and have a listen to Alexander Bowler, the snack attack machine. Nice trees. Yeah, no, unfortunately about that one, my friend. It's a different variation of the track, so our camera people aren't used to it. This is the North edition. And every once in a while it pans behind the trees. So try our best to get what we can. And they are shaving 6 minutes ago. 5.8 seconds from Giovanni to Tyler. Tyler Augusto just has to hold off. Just has to hold off and win this race as much as he can. He's just got to risk it. Like, try it. What do you reckon? His last lap of 31.6, a 30.3. So I think if I was his spotter, it's not, remember, a fantastic series lead. These guys are having a lot of fun. But if it was, let's say, for example, very serious and you had a spotter and you're trying to do your best, I would say, mate, just target yourself, low 31s and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Don't try to push yourself for a 30s because you might find yourself off track and that could be all pole shaft. You don't need to push yourself that hard, do you? You have a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, I mean, he's got about a 5-second lead here with 5.5 minutes left in this. You're doing a minute 30, so they'd have to be flying to clear it. It's going to be real close. They might get close by the end of the lap or by the end of the race, but it's I don't think they'll quite be able to catch him. I think he's kind of, don't want to say nailed the master stroke, but he's definitely pulled off the right moves so far.
And at that point when you're leading that race and you have that, you're your own worst enemy more than anything. Because you're the one that, you're probably sweating a little bit going, okay, I've got this, I can get this. 8 positions gained, very good job. He's gone to the pit road. No! Tyler has not had enough in the gas tank to get it done. And just like that, lead's going to slip through his fingers. And we were kind of sitting there going, could he hold off there for another 4 minutes and change? He can't. That'll put Giovanni into another race win again, potentially, for him. But this will be more of a battle between him. And they've come together as well, too, Giovanni and Bueller. They're going for it too for now. Now they probably both had the opportunity to realize, hey, we got this P1 and P2. So it's live to see another day. It's good racing. I think at the moment they're going to slow down as well too and just say, yep, both of them. All right, we come together. I'll see if we get a replay of that. And then say, let's keep going. Let's keep racing. And I like that. They will do that, these drivers. Have a lot of fun and have a lot of respect for each other as well as everybody else does here in the beer league. And rather than seeing somebody go off the track there and run away with it, they're going to be like, no, let's keep racing for a couple of, 4 minutes to go. Who wants it? Absolute respect between the drivers, and they're going to go to the wire between each other. Loving it. Yeah, and that's not a McDonald's thing. We're not loving it. We are loving it. This motor racing here.
Between the two of them, 50 gained positions as well.
These cameras are horrible. You're exactly right. It's pretty much the whole field lapped. The position gained between those two drivers. But, they're a different field. You got a 6K rating driver, and a lot of the field here are down at under a K. So, once again, it's the beer league. It's having a lot of fun. They have to put themselves a challenge, but they do have to start from the back and slice their way through the field. So, that's not just handed to them on a silver spoon. And Brian's in. He couldn't make it either. Oh, no, Brian. Oh, no.
Chris Hannigan also came in, but he's still in the pits here.
Yeah, he has. Well, Chris has gone in for a actual, literally drive-through. Just driving through to pick up something to eat or whatever. Having fun, probably
make
sitting
a quick stop at Mecca's.
Yep. the drive-through, picking up. Oh, Big Mac fries, please, mate. Hey, what do you want? Grab some for you as well.
Big Mac.
There you go. Right, 2 Big Macs then, please, there, Chris. So, John Combs has joined this party. On the back there, Giovanni and Alexander Buller leading this one. Hang on. Wasn't Alexander? Yeah, Alexander is Austin Tucker's. Now, Austin Tucker come back out there? The pit stops? What happened there? I'm all over the place there.
Yeah, I was just looking. Did Romano must have had a little bit of an issue that dropped him down to P3.
Yeah, I don't see anything on the information getting from race control. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, with 2 minutes left, it looks like Bueller, I mean, he's got about almost a 6-second lead there, so I think that's going to be nice for him. Now it's kind of his race to lose at this point.
You got the snack attack. Ron Wolf's out there said, let's go snack attack, and it looks like he is definitely going absolutely flat out for the 58 machine now of Alexander, and he's just got the snack. He's going for a snack attack more than anything. Shake Shack. And we'll take it. Well, the Shake Shack driver at the moment's not going to give that one up. Doesn't have to. But he'll have to at some point yield to a very quick driver. No, he's still there. It is. Eventually that Alexander will go through. Then further down the road there you have Mr. Tucker here for the Bailey's High Spirits machine. He should be comfortable to take this P2 position if he can hold off these two behind him for another minute and change. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. Giovanni, more than anything, has to worry about John for the family planning machine tucked up on his gearbox. Is he going to try to find their way, and who wants to get that P3 position between them? P2 more than anything, actually, because Tucker's the one at P2. Right there. Says it on his windscreen. Can't miss it. Austin Tucker.
Nice and easy to pick out which car is who. Yeah, and then for Giovanni, has the lead in the championship over Eric Ronenberg. And right now with Ronenberg in 9th place, him kind of sacrificing a couple of positions due to, whatever ended up happening. Don't think is going to hurt him too much here.
When are we going to see the flag there? Will it be another lap? It will be another lap. That's the main straightaway, I believe. Once again, I apologize. I can't show that track map, but yep. Will it be the checkered flag? He got it just in time.
White.
Yeah, it's so hard to see that. I'm imagining sometimes in those scoring boards that you see in Formula 1, isn't it? When they hold out those pit boards and you're like, how could you see those numbers?
Yeah, they do it in the F1 game, and I'm like, I don't even know what that's supposed to say.
Yeah, you can't read it in the sim, in the game at all. But in real life, I'm sure, because your eyes are so much more. It's like when you go in the helmet camera. Remember in the Formula 1, you look into the driver camera and it's just shaking around like mad, and their eyes are on it, just quickly peeling to left and right. There's one of the drivers there enjoying themselves having a drink in the pit lane entrance at the moment. They get a flash from the other drivers going, "Yeah, good night, mate. Cheers on us."
I think that's Soletta.
I think it is Soletta. I'm just trying to see where he is. Anthony there. Yep, there he is. He's having a drink. He's actually going to pass one off to his friend. Good on him. Having a lot of fun. Drivers do that here in the B League. They sit in the corner. They, we'll just have a brewski, have a drink. But yeah, your eyes obviously on the screens are a lot more different than what they are in real life, because obviously if you look through the driver helmets that you see on television and stuff like that, you go, there's no way, absolutely no way you'd be able to drive a car like that. No, you wouldn't. But when you're in there and as a real driver, your eyes are obviously a lot better than in real life than what they are looking at screens. Alexander Butt, his eyes are sharply peeled because the man will cross the line and he will win and take round 11 from the Virginia International Speedway.
This is the fun part where everyone just tries to find the nearest wall or fence or other driver.
Let's see what they're going to be doing to pan it off into the Austin in the jump and bang. What about the other drivers? We've got a few more coming in. Here it is, Rick Reeder. Mr. Campbell coming out the road there, as well as Josh Freed. Here we go. Jump time, boys. He's elected to go to the other side. Misses the car straight into the tire barrel. Stopped him in about 0 seconds.
As someone with a direct drive, this hurts my wrist a little bit.
I'm pretty sure you disable that direct drive before you go planning in yourself into the fence, as family planning was in there, as they're just having some fun right now, finishing up the race. Brilliant. That's the one time you really do enjoy a crash, isn't it? At the end of a race. And the only time, hopefully.
Hopefully, yes. That's the key. You don't want to do it too often.
Those results should come up for a second very, very soon, as we're just waiting for some of the other drivers just to have a bit of fun. That's what it's all about here at the Family First Planning. There you go. If you're planning for a family, bang! That's not the best way to do it, but if you're planning to have some fun at the beer league, that is definitely the best way to do it. There's Tyler, gets himself in that P13 positions there with that Buffalo. Wow, somebody went screaming through on the back road a million miles an hour. Maybe it was that Mr. Greg. He jumped the plank, and he saw P21 as well too. Amazing. Alexander got it done. And what a race that we had. And what a results that we're going to show you right now on the screen.
Yeah, so we had Alex Bueller in first, Austin Tucker in second, Giovanni Romano in third, John Combs in fourth, Rick Reeder in fifth, Evan Campbell in sixth, Josh Freed seventh, Eric Ronenberg in eighth, Tyler Agostino in ninth, Brian LeBlanc in 10th, Adam Klein in 11th, Jeremy Castro in 12th, Tyler Carlton in 13th, Cordy Barrett in 14th, Jason Lee 15th, Kenneth Ray 16th, Rodney Flores 17th. And then,
I'm just teasing to see if you're paying attention.
Oh, yeah.
There's yours.
Got this. Then, Carson Caitlin in 18th, Matthew Dupuis in 19th, Graham Jordan in 20th, Greg Beckman in 21st, Todd Maydall in 22nd, Christopher Flick, 23rd, Adam Mailhot in 24th, Blake Gambrell in 25th, Zach Garrow, 26th, Tanner Klein in 27th, Chris Hannigan, 28th, and Anthony Saletta in 29th.
Brilliant. Got through them. What a race. We'll see if we can obviously get some of those drivers ready to have a bit of a yarn to us. And they certainly would love to have a bit of a yarn to us. We'd have a yarn to those drivers out there. And if anybody wants to ask any questions as drivers, please do into the chat. Anything you want. Are they left-handed? Are they right-handed? Do they drive barefoot? Do they drive with socks on? What did they have for breakfast? Any of those questions are available out there for anybody who wants to ask it. But first of all, to you, my friend, if you want to ask those drivers the questions, and who would you like to talk to?
I guess we can start with Giovanni Romano. Start with 3 and work our way to 1.
You're the boss. Let's get it done.
Let's see. There we go. Giovanni, fantastic run out of yourself. A solid 3rd place finish. How'd that feel for you?
That was a good race. I had a really good battle with Bueller there for the last, for like half the race there. We were racing each other through traffic, and I finally got the jump on him and some as the pit cycle went through, and we had some side by side for a few corners, and I got in front of him. But then the problem was he kept up with me and kept pushing me, and ended up burning up way too much fuel, and and I ended up basically cracking because I was both keeping an eye on him and on my fuel number, and forgot to brake for the last corner, and then had to lift and coast to the end actually finish. So I finished with my tank was literally empty. So it was a lot of fun though. It was a great race.
Yeah, it looked like you guys were having a lot of fun, kind of going back and forth and pushing each other. So it was definitely exciting for us to watch from up here. But we were wondering, because we were like, oh, you were right ahead, and then all of a sudden you were, I think, hoping for P4 kind of area and stuff with Austin Tucker and John Combs. And then so we were kind of curious because we didn't see anything, but that makes sense. Yeah, just missed that one breaking point. Been there many a times.
Yeah. My brain's like, oh, I just need to lift for this corner. Wait. And then my brain 2 seconds later is like, you're a moron. You brake here every lap. You're going for a trip. Yeah, lost focus, but it happens to everyone sometimes.
For sure, yeah. Well, I mean, congratulations once again, and another podium out of yourself, and hopefully we'll see you on that top step again for your next race.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys.
All right, and I guess we'll bring in Austin Tucker, who was second there. So Austin, second place, and how'd that feel for you?
I felt pretty good. I'm in a pretty tight battle with Gio, so it was good that Bueller pushed him pretty hard and he had to save fuel, and I dropped him down to third. Fortunately for me, so it's gonna be an exciting battle next week. I wish I could have been up there fighting the top two, but Brian was running strong tonight, and I just couldn't find a way past him till he pit. Well, actually, till he pit. Yeah, so I never actually passed him.
Yeah, he seemed to be having a pretty solid race. But yeah, and then that last little pit stop kind of sent him down to the bottom,
Yeah,
unfortunately. But
unfortunately.
yeah, I mean, hey, it worked out for you. You get yourself a solid P2 out of the deal.
Yes, yeah, it looks like we're, let's see, P2, P5 for high spirits. I don't know, we're P13, I think, was our next best. So hopefully we essentially have the team championship wrapped up. It'll be close for the drivers next week, though. Yeah, I've got to say, really sorry to Eric. It was just a tight battle for the lead, and I just didn't expect them all to bunch up that much, and just caught him. But glad he was able to recover to at least a top 10.
Yeah, he had a little. I mean, it's the beer league. There's always a little bit of we'll call it rubbing and racing.
Oh yeah, it is
So-
expected both in beer league and with these cars.
Yeah, the touring cars can get a lot closer together than most other ones can, just with the size of everything.
Yes. And how he's safe.
For sure. Was there anyone you wanted to give a shout out to before we let you go here?
I think shout out to Brian. He was really quick. He's been really quick the past few weeks, and that was great racing from him. I just could not find a way past him. So yeah, shout out to him for some great racing tonight.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations once again on a P2 finish, and hopefully we'll be seeing you around for a chat for next week.
Thank you, and yeah, I hope I see you around next week as well.
Sounds good. All right, and with that, we will bring in our race winner here with Alexander Bueller. A fantastic drive, and man, never seemed to, just never seemed to let anyone get anything easy. You definitely seemed to put a lot of pressure on pretty much anybody anywhere near your car today.
Yeah, thanks. I actually for a bit I was just kind of lifting and coasting behind. I don't know who that was for like the first and second stint, but yeah, towards the end I knew Gio was struggling on fuel, so I really was pushing him, and it just happened to work.
I mean, it worked out beautifully. Even he was mentioning that it not only was he then having to lift and coast for the last bit, but he also completely missed a braking spot and kind of left you with.
It was Rick Reader, wasn't it? I believe. Sorry to cut you off. I think it was Rick Reader you were following for quite some time during that race.
Yeah, and no, I know that feeling because when you're thinking about strategy at the same time as racing, sometimes it's easy to just miss a braking point, and then you end up in the weeds like he did.
Yep, I've done that once or 30 times, and I mostly drive ovals, so it's even more disastrous because there's no reeds to go into. But no, you had a fantastic race, and like I said, it was really exciting because you just never let anybody kind of go. You constantly seem to be in their rear view mirrors, just close enough to be a nuisance and not give them any breathing room. It was fantastic to watch. How'd it feel kind of going throughout, and once you sort of saw Giovanni find his way into the reeds, and you kind of had a nice gap between you and P2.
Yeah, that was a great feeling. But even leading up to that, I noticed that he made a couple small mistakes, so I figured he was worrying about fuel and stuff. So up until that point, I was definitely stressing and trying to make sure you pushed and make a mistake. But in the end, it worked, so all's good.
Yeah, it looked fantastic. Looked like a lot of fun, and yeah, we're hoping hopefully we'll see some more exciting racing for the next one. But was there anyone you wanted to give a shout out to before we let you go here?
I guess Nutella. Make sure you have a jar of Nutella.
It did make me crave a little bit of Nutella. I'm not gonna lie there. I was like, ooh, I could go for some.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, congratulations once again. Hopefully we do see you for a conversation next week.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Not a problem. Have a good one.
That's exactly right. There's a celebration. Nutella car on the screen there as Alexander Vuller has done it. 25 positions gained and wrapped up. The snack attack machine has snacked their way into the victory here at round 11 from the Virginia International North Raceway. Yes, just to sum everything up there, Kendon, thank you very much for stepping in as well too, my friend. Did you enjoy the beer league race around here this evening?
I did. Absolutely fantastic. Lots of great racing, lots of off tracks, some good rubbing, and then tons of crashes to finish it off as everyone loves to just full send the car right into a wall. It feels real good.
Thank you very much, everybody. Same place, same network, same time. Round 12 coming up soon. Tracks, as we're not quite sure, they'll be spinning the wheel to dictate that one. If you want to find out all the information, please click the buttons below there and join the Fantastic Beer League if you want to have fun with the boys and girls and families as well too, for exhibition races that we have had before there. The children get involved, the grandparents get involved, even the family pets get involved. So make sure you get involved and click the like and subscribe button. That's it from us this evening. Have yourselves a great night. We'll see you again on the track soon. Bye-bye.